So मैं एक ऐसी फैमिली से आती हूँ जहाँ खून, ख़ानदान और तालीम इंसान की पहले पूछी जाती है. But 20 years ago, when I came into the film industry, I couldn't relate to too many people. But a few families I would love and I would meet them again and again were that of Dilip Kumar Saab, Mr. Bachchan, Kader Khan Saab, Talat Aziz Saab, Jagjit Singh, Khayyam Saab. उनके ख़यालात नए होते हैं मगर अंदाज़ वही पुराना पसंद करते हैं. And I like that. एक साहब थे जिनका नाम था Feroz Khan and he was called the Clint Eastwood of the East. एक दो बार मुलाकात हुई मगर तफसील से बात नहीं हो पाई. आज उनके बेटे हाथ लगे हैं. So now I'll have all those conversations I couldn't have with him as his film Visfot releases. Hi Fardeen.
Hi Atika.
Hi Sanjay.
Hi, hello.
Listen, I must tell you that there is something about you, Fardeen, that the world can't be harsh upon you. You come back and we still embrace you. Then you go back. Then you again come back. Then your fans and your well-wishers again embrace you. कुछ तो है जो ऊपर वाले का आपके साथ है, isn't it?
I'm extremely grateful for the support and love I've received from the fans who've followed me over the years in spite of being away. And it's followed on to the release of Heeramandi and the release of Khel Khel Mein. And now they're very excited with the trailer of Visfot. So ups and downs, you know, you have challenges, you have obstacles, you have failures, you have learning, you have successes. You know, that's just life. I think that's just how it works. And you don't, I mean, this notion that everything has to be good all the time, I think is not wise. It doesn't serve you well, and it's not the way life functions.
A boxer was once asked, I don't know who, but he was asked, who do you fear in the ring? He says, I fear the man who refuses to give up.
Yeah.
And that's the key to a successful life. You also many generations in the industry, or are you the first one?
Father was a professional snooker player.
Wow!
Really?
Yeah. He held the title for about 13 years. And before that, he was a state captain for in UP for football. So yeah, he was a sportsman, and he did produce 2 films which were way before I was even in school. It was a film called Parwana with Mr. Bachchan in it, which years later was made as Johnny Gaddar. So yeah, and the second film he did was also with Mr. Bachchan. It was called Manzil, Rim Jhim Gire Sawan.
Rim Jhim Gire Sawan. So Mr. Feroz Khan was popularly known as FK. If he was in the house and your friends called you FK, he would take offense.
It's happened once. It was one of my friends, FK. And I knew he was referring to me. Obviously, he wouldn't call my father FK. My father was a little away, but he heard. And I didn't know he heard. He just turned around and said, there is only one FK.
I love it.
So that chapter was closed.
You said it like him. You even said it like, say that again. Say that again. There is only one FK.
There is only one FK. I can't now. But that chapter was closed very quickly, right there and there. It was very established. He's often attributed to projecting the Hindi film protagonist at the time in a very Western way and bringing that sensibility. Yeah,
the leather boots and the hats and.
Yes, so that's something he's often credited with.
Yeah, I want to see him as a daku.
Huh?
Kode pe.
Banduk leke. With a gun.
Mera gaon, mera desh. With a good double barrel and a.
Describe a set and a day where you all had a lot of fun and at the same time you were shooting a scene which viewers should look forward to.
Well, I have a funny story. I never went on the set because it was, it's Cookie's show.
Director का सबसे बड़ा वो है कि producer set पे ना है.
Not at all. It was Cookie's show. It was his set and everything. I just went on the first day that he reported to work to wish him, because I knew he was coming back on set after almost 12 years. And they were shooting a night sequence, and I landed up over there and I just saw the set and he was in the van and it started raining.
Which is a good omen.
Yeah, but we didn't shoot that night.
Bad omen, sorry.
It was a good, expensive omen. Good omen, but very expensive.
So we just chatted and I'll be fine. That happens.
What did you chat about?
No, we just generally chatted and I was having a drink. He doesn't drink. Otherwise, we would have ended up by sunrise. So no, we packed up early.
Okay. I'm sorry, एक बहुत बुरा जोक याद आ गया.
कहिए.
उसे क्या कहते हैं जो दीन से दूर हो गया हो?
Fardeen. Fardeen.
What was your first shot, Fardeen?
In Premagar, of course, an action sequence where it was me and Sameer Malhotra, a karate fight sequence where we were sparring against each other. So that is what we started with, something fun, and my dad wanted a certain authenticity, so he says, I want contact. So he was kicking me right here on my ribs, and I was kicking him, and at the end of the day, we were like, man, can you just keep a little softer? And there were ice packs going on. And so yeah, like, you know, mummy actor banna hai. And my father was not just a taskmaster, but you know, his own experience. He started off as an action star, you know, B grade, you know, the B grade action movies of the time. But that was his starting. So he had it tough.
What was his first film? Do you remember?
As a hero was reporter Raju. Tarzan Comes to India was something he was proud about. It was his first Hollywood film as a supporting actor in it.
About your mother, like your relationship with her, and how does she keep herself busy? We know that she was with Air India for a long time.
She worked with Air India as an air hostess, as an air stewardess for about 9 years, while she and my father were dating. They were living together at the time, which was also rare for the time.
They were living in together?
Yeah, they lived in together for many years. And then once she got married, of course, she got pregnant and she resigned. She resigned from Air India. Travel was such a luxury in those days. And to see the world, you know, and she tells me stories and in those days there used to be postings. So because flying them up and down in hotels were too expensive, so they should just post air hostesses for three months. So she's been posted in Russia, in Moscow, and she was posted in London. So she was really, really proud that she got to take her mother abroad for the first time to Russia. She's got some fond memories, and she's, you know, she worked to support her family, to support herself. And, you know, so I have a lot of regard for her. And now she's still working.
Wow.
Okay. I mean, after she and my dad split, she's got into fashion. She launched her own label, and she successfully sold, you know, clothes. A huge inspiration, even as a working parent. And you know, she's resilient and had a very deep, profound influence on my life. And I look up to her.
We've often had that discussion in the industry, that technically, like when you see an action scene, who's the master of it? Sanjay Gupta.
You know, your technique is basically, it's like a handwriting. Now, either you have it or you don't. It's good, or, I mean, and so many times, even if I'm posting a picture on Twitter or, you know, something, and my, like, Milap and my other friends, they'll say, you know, they'll always message back. He's saying, you know, even over here, you're using such a good angle. So it's just a part of me. It's not.
Visfot में ऐसे scenes देखने को मिलेंगे?
बिल्कुल है. Cookie's done a fantastic job. Cookie and my the DOP Shikhar Bhatnagar, this is his second film. He did his first film. I launched him with Mumbai Saga, which was my last release. So yeah, the two of them together, they've created a world. They've created a Mumbai, which is, you see the two sides to Mumbai. There's a very rich, polished, clean Mumbai, and then we have the underbelly, which is your Dharavi and Dongri. And not that it's dirty, but it's very different.
It's messy.
They're like chalk and cheese. So these two have gone and created this world, and it was very important for these worlds to be distinct because of the way they collide. There is an upmarket pilot and there is an Uber driver from Dongri who are not supposed to, you know, ever get into, maybe he'll give him a ride.
बिल्कुल.
But their lives are never meant to intertwine or to collide, and that's what happens.
So, Shootout at Lokhandwala, जिस पर बनी थी Mr. A. Khan, I was friends with their family. He passed away. But again, I'm paying a compliment to you कि अगर उनकी life पे कोई कुछ बना सकता था, and अगर कोई producer सोचे कि कौन बना सकता है, संजय गुप्ता.
No, you'll be surprised. हम लोग अभी भी So खान साहब ने जब ATS form किया था और कैसे किया था. So that is something that I've shown in Shootout at Lokhandwala. recently, my production manager from many years came and met me, and he said, "Sir, I've met this group of people who are very keen to meet you."
Oh.
So I said, "Who are these guys?" And all these guys, Fardeen, these are the officers of the ATS who have all retired, and they formed a company, and they run this office which is in Kandivali. They have an office over there, and they want to tell their story. So they said that if he comes forward, so we want to tell,
Oh, please, make that.
how they did the encounters,
Yeah.
what was each person's contribution. The only thing is that, and they've sent me the drafts also. Only thing is that they were anti-terrorist squad. So and that time was early 80s,
At
was
its
only the
peak.
Punjab terrorism.
Oh, okay.
So there was only that. There's the Khalistani
movement.
stuff which was happening in and around Bombay, and that is also, but more on the outskirts of Bombay. So it's wonderful. I mean, I've been interacting with them also. Khan Sahib is somebody, I mean, I've known beyond Lokhandwala, and I always wanted to do something about his life.
Yeah.
And
Khan साहब और
hopefully-
हम वही रहते हैं actually लोखंडवाला वर्सोवा में ही ना. So
when I started researching on Shootout at Lokhandwala, basically 1992 is when it happened.
Yeah.
In 2002, I was on some flight, and that Caravan magazine was there, and उसमें लिखा था 10 years to the shootout of Lokhandwala, and there was an article. And what really struck me was they had two close-ups. There was a close-up of A. Khan, and there was a close-up of Dawood Ibrahim. And
both
they looked
had the
identical.
yeah,
Really?
actually yeah.
They had the same face cut, they had the same mustache,
Yeah.
the same aviators, the same hairstyle.
Yeah.
You couldn't. I for a moment I was taken aback, and then when I flipped the page, was this photograph where I said, "This I have to do."
Yeah.
Was a picture of Khan Sahab walking in that Swati compound. There were bodies lying around, and this guy's shirt was open. He was not in uniform.
Yeah.
His shirt was open. He was wearing a vest inside, and the gun was stuck to it. And the aviators.
And no bulletproof jacket. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's certain images that kind of stay with you.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.